Yo, what's going on? It is 1 p.m. here in Crystal Lake. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Thursday, December 11th, 2025. We're pretty much right on Christmas. The year has flown by, guys. And I am back from my last trip of the year. It was a twofer. I went to San Antonio I kind of went for TRE. I went there with Adidas that was doing stuff during TRE, but I didn't really go to TRE. I guess you guys can ask me about that too. But the big news was that I went to Valencia and came back with one of these. I ran the Valencia Marathon. It was a great day. The running was not so great. I took a shot. I took a swing at it. Didn't quite work out, but had a good time. And now I am back. I returned to 7 inches of snow on my car, which was not great after it was unseasonably warm in Valencia, which is already kind of warm of a place. So that was a shock, but now I'm back and I've got a ton of packages to get through today. And then I'm also going to be hopping on an interview later today. So we're going to have to get right to it. But before we do, let's say hi to everyone listening on the audio only version on the podcast. Hopefully you guys are staying safe out there, sure-footed, because it's starting to get nasty out. And for everyone else watching this later but not live, welcome to the #1 Drive Time radio show for runners. That is not at Drive Time and is on the internet. All right, who do you got here in the chat? Martha is here and she wants to know whether the skin on the persimmon made my tongue feel like leather. If it didn't, it must have been a hachia, not a fuyu. The skins on those are considered inedible. Yeah, so in Valencia, after the race, they give you persimmons. Why it's not Valencian oranges, I don't know. It's persimmons. They give you a 3-pack. And after the race, I decided I was just going to eat it. Just bite it like an apple. And I did some Google searching because I'd never eaten a persimmon before. And I did some Google searching and they said like some you can't eat, you got to peel. Others that look more like the shape of what I had, the skin is thin. And so it's a matter of preference. So I just went for it. And it did not make my tongue feel like leather. It was Doctors of Running commented and said that sometimes when I eat a persimmon, it makes my tongue numb. And I was like, that's weird. And then as soon as I read that, I'm like, I think my tongue is numb. It wasn't. It's just one of those things where you start reading and you're like, maybe I also, it's like that hypochondriac stuff when you start reading about symptoms on the internet. That kind of happened, but the persimmon was fine. It was tasty. I like it. And Cobalt Blue said, I let out an audible no when I saw you bite the persimmon. The bright red ones need to be peeled. Not sure about the more yellow ones. Last time I had one, I peeled it. My mom always peeled it when she ate them, but it was fine. I didn't take more than one bite, but it was fine. Runner Will's here. What's going on, Will? He says, hello, friends. Hope everyone's doing great. And Frank LaHulier wants to know, my question is, what does a vegetarian eat at the Outback? Well, I'm pescatarian, so I usually have fish. So they have one dish called the perfectly grilled salmon TM, like that's what it's called. If I say like I'll have the salmon, they say, you mean the perfectly grilled salmon? I'm like, sure, yes. And then they have another dish, which is like it's some sort of weird like Aussie word and then there's like some Aussie gibberish words and then salmon. And it's just salmon with like a cream sauce that has a lot of seasoning in it. Which I find to taste a little bit like plastic. So I don't usually get that. I just get the salmon every time I go. Sometimes we get the bloomin' onion, me and my daughter, at the Outback Steakhouse. But she doesn't like the bloomin' onion, so last time we got the mozzarella. I forget what they're called. They're called like they're called bloomerangs. Because they use the seasoning that they use on the bloomin' onion in the breadcrumbs for the mozzarella sticks. So they're bloomin' boomerang mozzarella sticks. I love Outback Steakhouse. All right. Raj Kumar says, howdy, Kofuzi. Congrats on Valencia. We need Air Kofuzi. Queries 1. You may have tested Speed 2 Run Shield. How does Evo SL ATR compare to it? Will you travel to London Marathon in 2026? Thanks. I do not have any plans to travel to London for 2026. So if that gets put on my calendar, that's one thing, but I don't have any plans to. And I think you're talking about the Endorphin Speed 2 Run Shield. I don't think I ever tested that shoe. I don't think I've ever tested a Run Shield, so I can't say. But the Evo SL ATR does have like a waterproof top to it, upper to it. So I feel like it's probably pretty similar. When I ran through, I didn't run through a ton of water, but when I ran through water in it, my feet were pretty dry, except for the water that came in over the top of the shoe and through like by the ankle. And then it aired out pretty quick. So it was wet. I was soggy for a minute, and then before I knew it, my feet were like dry. So it kept a lot of the water out and let any water that was in out quickly. So it did a pretty decent job. I don't think it's waterproof, but it is a water resistant upper, I think. All right. Lars M56 says, yo, what's going on? I didn't get into Chicago lottery, but got Berlin. Nice. Headed back for round 2. Hoping for under 4 hours this time. All right. Hopefully you guys get better weather. Hot weather seems to have been the theme this year. It was hot for Berlin. It was hot in Grandma's. It was hot in Valencia. It depends on when you ran. For where I was, it was warm, but I wouldn't say it was super hot. Maybe when you're in the sun, then it got a little bit warm, but I didn't feel like the heat was slowing me down. But there were times where I felt like my heart rate was high, and that's all probably heat related. But it didn't feel like other times when I've run, like when I ran New York on that hot year, where I was like, oh my goodness, this is hot. So, but people later in the day, they got the heat real bad in Valencia. So, Sono and Jeth, I think that's how I said it. Sono and Jeth 41 says they got a half foot of snow in Minnesota this week. Might have to swat up my running shoes for cross-country skis. Nice. Or you could do what Ben Johnson does and my friend the Runner's Plate. They both put screws in their shoes. I don't know if you've ever done that. I've never done that before. Karate Chop says, congrats, Kofuzi, for sticking it out when it got sucky. Nice of that fella to get you running again. It sure was. His name is Scott. And he found himself in and he made a comment on the video. But it was really nice. It was one of those things where, I always, whenever I see someone like walking, I'm like, all right, regroup and come on with us, or, regroup, take your walk break, and then, let's keep moving. I always try to encourage people. And so it was nice to get the encouragement and to feel like I could actually do something about it. Because sometimes people encourage me and I'm like, I couldn't if I wanted to, but I could that time. So it was really nice to have some help. My meniscus says, Adidas should let you run Valencia in the Adidas Evo Prime X. Yeah, that shoe is concept car. Because they're not even selling that one. As far as I know, they're not selling it. Each of those Prime X Evos is individually made for the athlete. And so we got a very long discussion on the Prime X Evo. And so they made him for that sub-6 100-kilometer attempt. And I think there were 5 athletes that ran. And each of those athletes had their shoe specifically tweaked for them. Depending on what their foot strike is like, what their mechanics are like, what their preferences are. And so no 2 Prime X Evos are alike as far as I'm aware. And I don't think that they're planning on selling any of that. But that would have been fun. It's so tall, though. All right. Gabok4 says, can I get a belt for my first marathon 3 weeks back with a time of 3:28? Absolutely. Congratulations. Happy, but I had some bad leg cramps around mile 22. Do you think I needed more sodium? It's possible. It's possible maybe you needed more sugar. It's hard to tell just by saying like leg cramps. It also could just be, you ran up to the limit of your fitness, which I think for me in Valencia, part of it was I did not do a great job carb loading. I don't think it was a salt issue. It could have been because I didn't do a specific intentional like sodium load during the last couple days. But I think more there's just that there was a point in the middle of the race where I was feeling really good, where I wasn't necessarily pressing, but I was pushing a little bit. I wanted to put myself into a position to have a good day if it all worked out, and it just didn't. So I outran my fitness just a little bit. So I mean, usually there's lots of, there's always all the sorts of like diagnosing we can do. Like, did I take enough sugar? Did I take enough salt? Do I need more of this? Do I need more of that? Normally, the bigger, broader underlying answer is you need more fitness, and that's what I needed as well for what I wanted to do on the day in those conditions. Patrick says, can I request a very rare triple PR belt? Indoor mile at the Armory. All right. Palom 10K. And Montclair Donut 5K. Oh, Patrick, you're busy. That's a lot. That's range. That's range, my man. That's a lot of range. Great job. He says, still lobbying for you to come to Montclair next year. Oh, I don't think I've been to Montclair in a long time. But maybe we'll see. And Raymond Rowan wants a PR bell for his marathon debut, 3:44:38 at CIM. Great job. And he is very happy with the results. Awesome. Congratulations. All right. Johnny Dodgen says, hey, Mike, new appreciation for what you have to handle with all your travel. My jet lag hit hard in San Antonio. Hope your double trip went well. Yeah. I actually did pretty good jet lag wise. I can't complain. It went as well as I could have hoped. I managed to sleep on the airplane in enough quantities where I never felt like unreasonably tired at the wrong time during my trip. So that was good, which is pretty rare for me. And then on the way back, I feel like I slotted right back into my regular time zone here. So that's the best adjustment I think I've ever had on a trip. Yeah. Stu Masabaran. Is that how I'm supposed to say it? Stu Masabaran says, just qualified, first time for Chicago in 2026. Super pumped about it. My first world major. Got 3 marathons next year, huh? Oh, when it rains, it pours. But that's awesome. Congratulations for you. All right. I'm going to scroll down and skip a little bit ahead just because I need to actually check my email really quick because I want to start opening some of these packages. And okay, I'm looking at this. I got some text sheets. I'm not sure. Okay, there's nothing from the brand saying that is. So maybe we'll look at it and see if I could do a Google search on it before I open it to you. But let's get to some other stuff first. Sorry. First package. I had a bunch of packages when I got back because I was gone for a week. And also, I feel like this time of year it's like a gift giving time. Although we're running towards the end, you gotta open your stuff, or order your stuff soon if you want to get in time for the holiday. So I think that's why I got a lot of stuff, more than I normally do, in the last week, 7 days. So let's see what we got here. Got something from Rabbit. They haven't sent me the trail shoe, which I can understand why they wouldn't do that. But let's see what they got in here. Oh, it's a little holiday care package. Happy holidays from the Rabbit crew. Look at that. This is pretty. I like that. Very festive. Here's to a season filled with joy, warmth, and unforgettable runs. Nice. Okay. So, first thing in here is a water bottle. Love this. My current favorite Yeti water bottle is a Rabbit Yeti water bottle. This one has a straw, but the one I have has just like a regular top on it, which I guess I could just use this as a regular top without the straw. I'm not a big straw guy. I like to open the thing and drink from it. But this is nice. I like that. Then we've got some, oh, look at these rabbit socks. I guess I should show it to you this way. This is what's on the back of it. And then on the other, like Achilles, be the word rabbit. So you got word mark and logo mark. There we go. Why is it not focusing? There we go. Martha wants to know, will your daughter steal that bottle? She doesn't steal the non-insulated ones. She lets me keep those. So I have a feeling there's a good chance I'll be able to keep this one. And I think that I will start putting some stickers on these. I don't have any stickers on my other one. And I left it clean. But now I'm like, you know, I feel like a water bottle needs some character. So I need some stickers. Next. Oh, this is nice. Oh, you know what this is? I feel like this is drop bag size, right? So it's a little mini duffel bag. Kind of one big compartment with one side pocket in here. So I feel like this is really nice size to like bring to the gym. You put like a towel, change your clothes in there or whatever. Or if you're doing a drop bag for an ultra, since this is trail. Well, this doesn't have a trail logo on it. But it's a nice duffel bag. So I like this size. Nice. Ooh, Martha says we got those with the Rad Rabbit kit this year in blue. Oh, that's nice. I like that. And then oh, this is lovely. What is this called when it has like this kind of like diamond stitching pattern? I love this kind of diamond stitching pattern. It's like quilted. Is that the word for it? I don't know, but it's really nice. There's a little chest pocket here, and then there is a kangaroo pouch in the front. And I gotta tell you, I love a kangaroo pouch on a sweatshirt that isn't a hoodie. It doesn't feel like it would be there, and then you find one, and then I like it. And I know that some people don't like the kangaroo pouch. I'm a big fan of the kangaroo pouch. I don't know. It's nice. It's pleasant. I like it. All right, so that's what's in that Rabbit package. So thanks Rabbit, for sending that. And Mark Peterson is confirming that's quilted. Okay, quilted. I like quilted things. All right, Patrick wants to know, any recs on non-tights running pants? Ideally, something with a phone pocket is the only other criteria. The phone pocket part's going to be hard because, like, if it's not a running pant, it's usually like a two pocket, like one on each side, like pants pockets, or like a maybe a three pocket, one butt pocket. A lot of times they don't have like the phone pocket in the back, so that's going to be tough. I would say, I'm trying to think of one that would have it. CLA's full tights are not as snug tights, but they still have like full length tights hip pockets, if that makes sense. That could be one. But otherwise, I would say if you want to use regular pants, but you still need to hold a phone, I would say just bring a flip belt too. You know, you need to bring the phone another way. Because if you put them in those regular pockets, it's just going to swing around too much. That's the problem. All right. Okay. Yeah, my meniscus tear says non-tight would have the awkward phone bounce. Like, the thing I'm thinking is, like, I guess the other thing is, if it's cold enough in the winter, you could wear a half tight, put the phone in that half tight pocket, and then wear the pants on top, and they could just be any pant you like, you know. Getting Torn says Path Projects. Path Projects, yes, they have a back phone pocket in their regular running pants, which are not tights. That is an option for you. I'd probably look there first. But I don't know if the size of that pocket has grown with the size of phones. So if it still fits, I'm not sure. All right. Next package is from Roll Recovery, which I made the video with the R8. The only time I ever used the Roll Recovery R8. is after a marathon, like the day after and 2 days after a marathon, because it hurts so much, but in such a good way. It's the only time I use it. So people are like, do you recommend it? I'm like, not really. It's very expensive, and I use it 3 times a year maybe. But when I need it, it feels like the next day I feel so much better. All right. So this that they've sent for me is the Super Plush, what does it say? Solace Slide in Midnight. And they sent it to me. A women's 10. What size is that? It says UK 8. They sent me a women's one. That's fine. I forget what size I asked them for. But the feeling, I usually size down on my slides, so I'm guessing it'll all work out. But look at this thing. It is very pretty. Wait, what did I just do? Okay, goes like this. So we've got this material, which I've been using the recovery, like they have a slip-on shoe, which I absolutely have been loving that. And this material feels a little bit softer than that material, so that's going to increase the comfort. It's nice and squishy on the inside. And then this slide part, which is adjustable with this Velcro strap, is like, feels kind of like suede. I don't think it's an animal product, but it feels like suede. So really, really nice. And I love this color. Is it navy? It's really nice. So, yeah, Karate Chop says UK 8 is a men's 9th, I think. And then, but it's a women's 10. So I don't know what that is, but we'll see if these fit. Let me put them on. They seem cozy. Yeah. See, I like my slides to be a little bit snug. These are just perfect. Oh, these are nice. I'm wearing them now. I mean, I'm not standing up yet, but yeah. Yeah, I enjoy these. Thank you. Okay, now this one is one that I bought myself, and I guess we'll have to get the scale up, or maybe I'll do that next time, because we got a lot of packages to get through, and I don't know if we're gonna have enough time for everything. Maybe if we have enough time, I'll get the scale out. But this is different than what I thought it was gonna be, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to show this yet. Let me do a quick Google search. I thought it was I ordered a pair of Saucony Triumph 23s. And that's not what that is from that box. Okay, this is available on the website. I could see it already. So I can show this to you guys. This is, let me get back to this, from Merrill. It is the Promorph. Now they emailed me about this, and I remember having some exchanges. I don't recognize this, but this is very pretty. Check out this shoe. I like this. Oh, it's got Vibram on the outsole. I love the way that this midsole is designed, like these cutaways. It's kind of like, you know, remember those old t-shirts that were designed to make it look like an animal had clawed you in the chest, and then like behind the animal claw marks was a graphic design of some sort? That's the vibe that I'm getting from this in the midsole. It's like someone tore across the midsole and you're seeing the guts of this Float Pro midsole. The Vibram lugs are not super deep, but I feel like there's plenty of them. And then there's cutouts to give some extra traction too. So interesting. I like this. We'll have to see what the foam is like. I can't really tell from this, but I like this accent right here. So you got this kind of like tighter knit mesh, and then this piece of like TPU, I think this is what it is. And then a little piece that feels like It's just TPU, or no, it's fabric textile on top of there, but it kind of is like almost leathery. And then you got a different kind of mesh here, a more open mesh. Interesting. I like some of these design choices. Oh, it smells like a basketball. Like it smells like straight up rubber. Rubber with a little bit of citrus in it. Like there's a sweetness to the rubber. So it's not like a tire. But yeah. Lighter than it looks, but yeah, I like this one. All right. Yeah, my meniscus shirt says very Solomon-like, dad drip for sure. Oh yeah, I'm gonna rock these. I can't tell. I see them on the website. It says it's on the trail. Oh, it's just in the shoes section at Merrill. But it's made for trail running. It says run the roads, run the trails, run anywhere in between. Okay. So a little bit of that hybrid all-terrain vibe going on here, which I like and I resonate with that kind of thing. Yeah, but I could wear this all day, you know. This is nice. Very, very wearable, and hopefully it's very runnable too. Okay. Piercing Arrow says, alas, no Chicago for me. Did we already commiserate? Not too much. Some people have gotten in, some people have not. But yeah, I think those just came out those notifications been out today. And it seems like Berlin just came out. I got an email from Valencia Marathon, not just me, everyone did. So next year, Valencia Marathon is going to a lottery system, which is the first year they're going to do that. They had 35,000 runners this year. They're going to have 36 or 37,000 next year. And, Eric also did not get into Chicago. He says, oh, well, back to the trails. But Vince Inman made it in. Congratulations. That'll be my first. Awesome. Very cool. But anyway, Valencia Marathon sent an email. And if you ran 2025 Valencia Marathon, and you get like a 4-day window that started this morning, where you can automatically get a non-complimentary entry. So you can get in if you pay. And I think it's only, if I sign up for it right now, it's like 80 euros. So like it's like super cheap if you do it like first day. But then like if you wait, it gets more and more expensive. Or something like that. Maybe I read it wrong. I don't know. But I was very tempted, but it's just such a hard time of year to travel. Mark Meyer says, oh, I can recommend Paws Chicago as a charity. If anyone wants to go that route, run for the cats and dogs. Paws is a great organization. And a lot of people have run for them. One of my law school friends ran for Paws, I think 2 years ago. And she enjoyed it. Yeah. Okay. Alf wants to know, hey, what kind of pants were you squatting in on the final training vlog? Similar color to those Bad Boys trail shoes. I didn't make the cut for Chicago, by the way. Oh, that's a bummer, Alf. I think those were an old pair of pants. Were they like a greenish or maybe a brown color? I feel like they're called. I don't think the brand exists anymore. I think they were called Oliver's. Yeah, because they sent me a short and a pant. And the shorts I've worn like crazy. And the pant, I think those pants might be 7 years old. Oh, Dan said the 80 euro bibs are all gone already, and it's up to 180 euros now. Okay, that makes it a lot easier for me to decide. Oh man, that goes fast. All right, let's go to the next package. Let's do this one real quick. So this is one that I didn't get delivered. I actually bought this at the expo. I'll tell you guys, the expo in Valencia had there was definitely a retro vibe of like, I haven't had as much fun at an expo in a long time. And I was talking with someone about it, and it was like, remember like before Amazon made everything available all the time? And like you had to go to the expo and like rummage around and search to see what running accessories were even out there. You might not even have heard of it yet, but if you saw it, you'd be like, oh, that's perfect. I absolutely need that. Maybe I'm not going to race with it tomorrow, but something that I want to get and like bring home, you know? I had that feel to it at the expo, which was kind of nice. And then I found this company, and I bought a couple of things. So like These are Valencia socks. So I thought I'd get these. It says run in 42.195K on the sock. So I thought that was kind of fun. Not really the color of sock that I normally run in, but I thought I'd go for it. And then I got this shirt for myself because I thought it was nice. Because I didn't want to get like the official race merch, but I wanted to get a running shirt that had Valencia mentioned somewhere in it. But it says, oh, this kind of smells funny. Where runners fly on the left chest. And on the back, it's got this drawing. Where runners fly. It says Valencia right there. So, it must be a brand new company. It says established 2025, 2026. Interesting. But I kind of like this shirt, so I decided I would pick it up. So, yeah. Andrew in Indianapolis says, I'm trying to be patient with Adidas to see when they release the Evo SL ATR. It's cold and snowy here. I need that thing. A lot of people have been asking about that. Here's the weird thing. Like the day that I post like stories about it, people are like, hey, when does this come out? And I was like, oh, actually, that's a good question. I should probably ask. So I asked my handler, I'm like, when did these come out? And she was like, oh, let me find out for you. And in the meantime, I'd seen someone else post something about it and it was like, it's coming out, December 3rd, which was like the day after. And then I got a message back saying it's going to be December 4th. So I was like, well, it's either December 3rd or December 4th. I'm not sure which one it is. And then since then, people were like, hey, it's past December 3rd or 4th. Where is it? I'm like, I don't know. I can only tell you what I've been told. But it seems like some people are worried that there were never any at all. And some people were worried that maybe there was only a small amount and they're already sold out. So I don't know. I can follow up and see what the story is. And Cobalt Blue says, I heard the Evo SL ATR isn't even being marketed in the U.S. They sure did act like they were marketing in the U.S. I don't know. Terry Furlong says, I received my pair of Evo SL ATR today. But Terry Furlong is not in the United States, I think. So, I don't know. Interesting. It's so weird. Yeah. And Vanessa says, on that shirt, I like the graphic of a woman with big, strong thighs. I mean, I felt like the woman looks like a runner. It's a good runner shirt, I feel like. So, yeah. Yeah, and Eric says, Terry's in the UK. Go. So, yeah, so maybe that's one of those things. Raj Kumar says, yes, no Evo SL ATR in the US or at Running Warehouse. And I thought that they said that Running Warehouse was going to be the one online retailer that had it. And then it was going to be available through the app. That's so bizarre. Okay. I hope, though, that we get the Agravic Evo, which is, I feel like they're saying like it's like even beefier lugs on an Evo SL, but the foam looks like it's shaped differently. Even the foam on the Evo SL ATR feels like it's been tweaked a little bit because they know you're going to be running on softer surfaces rather than hard surfaces. So it's a little bit firmed up, it feels like. But I don't know. The brand extensions from all the brands are getting, or like the franchise extensions are kind of getting crazy. All right. Dan Dalton says, can I get a PR belt? 3:13:33 in Valencia. Excellent work, Dan. 18-minute PR with Achilles tendonitis. Painful one. Whoa, but you made it. Nice work. Nice work. Okay. Fazia Lalo says it's available on the Adidas website on this side. So maybe it's that it's not available in the US. That's really weird. It's really, really weird. Okay. Let's do this one. This is one of two mystery packages. This is from, this was funny because when I went to go pick it up, the guy at the P.O. box was like, hey, this guy just dropped this off for you here. And I was like, oh, you guys will take it that way? I'm like, okay. But it's from a company called Zone 2 Endurance. And it's based here. Well, I don't know if it's based here is the right word for it. But the guy that started the company lives in Crystal Lake. And I think we like know people. We're like 2 or 3 degrees separated, and so he's like, "Hey, I've started making this pre-workout stuff." He's like, "I was making my own mixes, and I was making so much of it, and people said you should just start a company." So he started a company. So, yeah, it's not safe for my daughter because it's it's produced in a facility that also processes wheat, soy, peanuts, tree nuts, milk, eggs, shellfish, and fish, which is the kind of thing I would expect from, I think, a smaller company because you're going with the co-packers. But I'm okay to try it. So let's try it. This one has... You know what I don't like? I don't like all these brands that have like ingredients that are trademarked. This has Peak O2, Infinergy, and Terra Caf, CAF. But anyway, it's vitamin B, calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, sodium, potassium, L-citrulline, which some people, when I started taking those nitric oxide pills, they were like, nitric oxide pills are dumb. Take L-citrulline. And I was like, sorry, okay. And this Peak O2 is cordyceps, so mushrooms, reishi, king trumpet, lion's mane, turkey tail. So all a mushroom blend. And then the Terra Caf, I think, is the tart cherry extract. No, Terra Caf is natural caffeine from green coffee beans. And the Infinergy is decaffeine malate. So this is an endurance pre-workout thing to take. So the mushrooms are for like focus, right? Isn't that what that's for? That's the stuff that's in those like morning drink this instead of coffee things, right? Let's try it. There's a scoop in here. Mix 1 scoop with 8 to 10 ounces of water. Consume 15 to 30 minutes before training. Use daily for best results. Okay. The scoop's not that big. There's a lot of servings in here. Okay. I don't know how well this is going to dissolve. I don't know what flavor this is going to be. There's cherry extract, so hopefully it tastes like cherry. And hopefully it doesn't taste like this color. Hopefully it doesn't taste like mushrooms. Yeah, it's not dissolving great, but... Well, it's an interesting flavor. It's tart. There's a picture of a lime on it. I'm tasting the lime as well. And I was going to say it tastes like very like a Luden's cherry cough drop, which is a nice flavor. And then I ate a vitamin C tablet like at the same time and then thinned it out. That's the flavor. So that's not bad. We'll see if it gets me jittery in a minute. There's a lot of caffeine in here. So there's 120 milligrams of natural caffeine, and then the dicaffeine malate, there's 66.67 milligrams. So that's like more than a cup of coffee in here that I just slammed. So we'll see. Terry says it tastes like regret. I don't say it tastes like regret, but it's a very different flavor. I wasn't expecting the lime, so that kind of caught me off guard. I feel like if it was a cherry lemon might have been better, although that also sounds weird. But anyway. All right. I got 3 more packages. I think we have time for it. Let's do another mystery package. I don't know what this is. I think I know what it is. It might just be, this might be something I bought myself. I don't know that this is for me. Like, it has the label for my box and the P.O. box. But like this label is torn, so I don't know what's going on with this. Oh, I did buy this. Oh, there's two things in here. I think one day I was just doing some shopping on my phone. And so here's some things that I ended up buying. I did not realize, I bought 2 t-shirts. I did not realize that they would be the exact same color. But here we go. Here's the first one. That's why you can't leave me alone on my phone for too long. It is kind of cool though, Darth Vader, as in like Japanese Darth Vader. So there's one. I was wondering where these were. And then this is the one that got me really excited. Mr. Sparkle. Mr. Sparkle. So this is what I'm unreasonably excited about this shirt. But yeah, so those are the 2 things that I got. That was the mystery package. All right. I don't know. I don't think it was TikTok shop, but I think it was definitely like an Instagram ad popped up, and I saw Mr. Sparkle, and I was like, I need that. All right. This is from 361, and I'm pretty sure there may be an embargo on this, so we'll have to see. Although, like, I checked my email. I don't have a recent email from 361. Maybe it's in my messages or something, but let me take a peek at these boxes first. And then I'll do a Google search and see if I can find them online. And if I can find them online, then I'll show them to you. That's a weird name for a shoe. Okay. Okay, so this one is on... That one is already, yeah, on the it's on the internet and it's on sale. And then this one is, oh, I don't think this one is on sale yet. Yeah, I don't think I can show you this other one yet, but I am very excited for it. Let me check my email real quick. Well, you know, I don't. Here's the tech sheet, and they didn't send me any. Yeah, they don't have any. Okay, what should we do? I think we should show it to you. First one, this one is on the website already. So this is the Furious Future 2 from 361. It is in white purple vein. It's a US 8.5, which I'm not excited about. I don't know that I'll be able to run this one. What is this, guys? Yeah, you could see through it. There's a cutout that goes all the way through. Very aggressive plate, starting out high in the back and then slams down in the forefoot. Knit tongue. Yeah. Packaging on this is aggressive too. Yeah. And it's got, I don't understand what this is right here. Like the carbon fiber plate is definitely like very 3-dimensional in here. I'm trying to envision why it's look like that. It's just interesting. Yeah, and it looks like, I don't know what you're supposed to do with this here. If that's just cool to make it look like a digital clock, or if maybe after you run a time, you're supposed to color it in what your time was, maybe. That'd actually be kind of cool if that was the case, so if that was before. The upper is very thin. Reminds me very much of a Vaporfly, Alphafly upper. This like split part of the midsole reminds me of Metaspeed. And this foam, I'm trying to think of what foam this reminds me most of, but I've definitely felt stuff like this before. Interesting. Yeah, look at that. It smells like off-gassing. That's that one. I don't remember talking to them about this shoe. I think they might have just sent it, which is fine. Just don't know how much running I'll be able to do in it at 8.5. But maybe they know it runs big, and so maybe it is the right size. Now this is a shoe that I did want from them. I really enjoyed the first one, and it made me want to work with the brand more. And then they spam me with stuff, and we're like, hey, if we're going to send stuff, we need like some guarantees on coverage and reviews. I'm like, then never mind. But anyway, they were real weird to me about it, and so I stopped talking to them for a while. But for this is the Elios 2. Hopefully I'm not breaking any embargoes on this. They did send this to me in a US 9, though. Cloud Gray, Estate Blue. I think the main headline for this year is that it's going to be a lot of the same feel, but they've made it even lighter, which I think would be really, really nice. This is very pretty. It is very light, very lightweight. So here it is. This looks great. Is this purple? Is this purple vein? And then like a light lavender underneath on the outsole. Feels like the foam is maybe a little bit more responsive than last time. But last time it was very, very squishy. They got an ortholite liner on the inside. And a lot of it looks very similar to last time. But, yeah. I like this. I like this quite a bit. Yeah, Lendaring says the outsole looks familiar. It does. Yeah. So, yeah, Cousin Hannibal Michael wants shoe weights. I think maybe we'll have to do weights next time, or I'll take some pictures of it. I just think I want to get through all the unboxing today. I guess there's only one more, but I gotta make sure I'm on time for my next call. All right, next one. I think you guys have probably already seen this elsewhere, but this came in from Adidas while I was gone. Dude, getting to run. Michael said the funniest thing when I posted that video about the bananas at Valencia. He was like, I gotta ask, given everything I've seen from you this week, have you tried eating a banana without the peel? So, yes, I've tried eating bananas without the peel. Now there's a piece of paper in here. Okay, here we go. It says, Dear Mike, we hope you enjoy this special gift in honor of the 130th Boston Marathon. Oh, as a reminder, please do not post any content of this until December 4th. It's past December 4th. It is under embargo with the Boston Athletic Association. Stitched in history, your Adidas running team. Well, I wouldn't want to upset the Boston Athletic Association. But check this out. Oh my goodness. So if you guys have seen Drew's content, he already made something about this, but this is basically a hanging garment bag, and they've done it like you've had your laundry sent out at a fancy hotel. which I have never done personally. But you know what I really appreciate about this? So it talks about all the items that are in here. Jacket, shoe bag, slides, socks, sunglasses, lip balm, chafe bar, bath salt, Uber gift card, and it says under embargo until December 4th. It's after December 4th, right? Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure. But yeah, so this is a nice garment bag. In here are some socks. Adidas socks. And then here, it's got my initials on here as well. And you can carry it like a regular garment bag. I'm going to roll through the expo like this. You thought walking through with your Boston jacket was impressive? Did Adidas send you a monogrammed garment bag? Here's where there's a Uber gift card. I guess I'm going to Boston. Bath grains. Smells really nice. I like the smell of this. And then fur. It's chafe cushion. F-U-R. Put this back in here. Think I could go on an airplane like this? Just bring this. I saw someone with like one of those roller garment bags, and I was like, that's got to be ancient. Like those, I think those fell out of favor in like the 90s. And it did look like that bag was pretty old. But yeah, I'm very far removed from like my friends are all getting married. And so like I have not encountered a garment bag in a long time. Martha wants to know, are you going to go to Boston, Mike, to spectate? The plans were yes. So I haven't talked to Rabbit to see if we're going to redo another shakeout or anything like that. They're usually my first choice because they've been such great partners. But I suppose it's time to do that. In each of these sections was one slide, and these are gorgeous. Luckily, these are my size and not my daughter's size, because otherwise she would totally steal these for sure. These are the Adilette Lumia. But these seem really nice. Very pretty. I love the tone. The color tone. By the way, I went to the eye doctor today. And I guess I had not gotten an eye exam in a long time. And so I was a new patient, even though I've been there like 6 times because I've taken my kids and my wife and stuff. And they gave me the colorblind test. After the second circle, they're like, you know you're colorblind, right? I'm like, yes. She's like, okay, we're not going to do these anymore. I was like, okay. All right. Now, in here, look at this. Oh, my goodness. This is definitely getting stolen by my daughter. A little shoe bag right here. This is dope. You put your spikes in there, man. I also love that it's yellow in here so that you could see in case if you are using it for spikes to make sure that nothing has dropped or got loose in there. And then look at this, sunglasses. It's green. Okay, it's not yellow. Green. Sorry. All right. Dan Dalton says, I believe that color is lucid lemon. I don't know if you're joking or not, but yeah. All right. Oh, someone said, Senior Grandmaster Runner Dan says, are you going to Carlsbad this year? Oh, that's a good question. I need to think about that. Check out these sunglasses, though. These are nice. I love this. Oh, I like these a lot. Do I look okay? I can't see myself. That's how bad my vision is. But I like these a lot. These fit super lightweight. I love how much coverage they have over all your peripheral vision. Nice. Very pretty. And then Frank says they fit my face pretty well. All right, good to hear that. All right, let's get to the thing that everyone really wants to see. This is the 130th Boston jacket. The celebration jacket, I believe is its official name. Blue and yellow, just like it should be. And it's embroidered. So we've got embroidery of the 3 stripes. I don't know if you could see that. An embroidery of the Boston logo with the Bank of America logo very prominent as well. And then on the back collar, this is really nice. Here, it's embroidered as well as this giant unicorn on the back. This is really nice, guys. Yeah, I think it's gorgeous. I absolutely love it. I have mixed feelings about it, but it's gorgeous. On the inside, there's a liner, a mesh liner to help kind of keep things cool as you're running. Chest pocket. And then zipper pockets on the side. And then it's vented as well. So that way lets a little bit of heat out as you're running in this, if you're going to run in this. Yeah, so here's my mixed feelings about it. I have qualified for Boston once or twice. I have run it once, and that's all I intended to run it. Look what's on this. Catch me if you can. This is not embroidered. This is silk screened on, or applied on. But it's I like this. It's a little bit aggressive, but I like the way that they did the unicorn here. Yeah. So this is great. This is a wonderful jacket. This is the way they should be doing the Boston jacket. And but I did run a Boston qualifying time in this last year, but it's not one that would have gotten me past the cutoff. And so this was also, I think, one of the toughest years to ever get into the Boston Marathon. So I feel like the people that like kind of earned the jacket, really earned it. Not that people didn't other years, but this was a really tough year to get into Boston. So I feel like it's a little bit different. And so I know they're sending this to me in my role as an influencer, and to show off how nice it is. And I will probably show off how nice it is. But, it's kind of, I feel like it's kind of weird, or I don't want anyone to think that I'm trying to fool anyone by wearing it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And Martha says it is gorgeous and it fits true to size. Yep. And Martha says, Mike, I'm always reminding people that anyone can buy the jacket. It's the shirt you only get if you're an entrant. That's true. That's true. Yeah. Herm's correcting me. I'm not an influencer. I'm a viewership architect. That was Herm's term that he made up. And I absolutely love that. Yeah. It's nice. And I'll wear it if I go to Boston. But I mean, I guess I don't wear the regular Boston jacket around all that much either. But usually when I go to Boston, I wear whichever one like Adidas sends for me to like promote, but also I wear the one from my year, which was like the light bluish, like the purple color one. So yeah. Yeah, Corey says just don't show up to the local turkey trot with that on though. Yeah, I mean that's not my style either way. But yeah, so those are some of the things, But yeah, but it is gorgeous, and it'll be interesting to put it on. So, I mean, I guess let's see. Yeah. Oh shoot, I gotta get going, guys. Sorry, I'm running late for my next interview, so I gotta go. Well, we'll talk about that. We'll put a pin in that. We'll talk a little bit more about it on Monday. All right, guys. It's gonna get real cold over the weekend, so everyone stay warm, stay safe on your runs out there, and I'll see you Monday. Thanks, everybody. Bye.